Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and after a bit of a lengthy hiatus, welcome back to System Shock Radio. Um, I got some topics for you guys. I actually made these topics a while ago because this was actually supposed to be recorded last year, but I ended up tweaking some topics. A couple topics got removed that I felt like was kind of old news and everything that I want to talk about. But without further ado, let's get right into it. This first topic that I want to talk about is a pretty big one, and apparently the WWE is now for sale. Now, this was something that was rumored to be happening for a while, for years. People have been talking about potential WWE sale, WWE being sold, and I think talks of this first started when like a bunch of releases started happening, especially during like the COVID-19 pandemic, um, with with a lot of wrestlers being released. People were speculating, why are all these people being released, even though WWE was having these like huge quarters, like posting these big numbers, that these are like some very successful quarters, and some people theorize that it may be because of potential WWE sale. Well, that seems to have come to fruition with WWE apparently now being on sale. They brought in J.P. Morgan uh, to help facilitate the sale, and Vince McMahon is now back in WWE to help to oversee the sale and everything. And there's some bidders in the pool. There's different companies like Fox, Disney, Comcast, even AEW apparently. Apparently, Tony Khan and Shad Khan, who I forget Shad's relation to Tony Khan, but apparently they're on the pool to potentially purchase WWE. There, it was rumored that they were sold to Saudi Arabia and everything for the Saudi public fund, but those rumors, at least for now, seem to have been shot down. But I wonder how will this turn out. Apparently, Triple H has said that even with WWE being sold, it's been said that even with WWE being sold, not much is going to change. Obviously, there'll be like a new person in charge at the helm and everything, but Triple H is gonna still remain in charge of creative and everything, and they said stuff will pretty much remain the same. But yeah, it's crazy to think this is something that people have talked about potentially happening to WWE for years. Is a WWE sale, and lo and behold, here we are. But the next thing I want to talk about, speaking of WWE, we are about 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble. So, for starters, I've been reviewing not just classic Royal Rumble matches, but matches that happen at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I've done Edge and Rey Mysterio at Royal Rumble 2008. I have done The Rock and Mankind at the Royal Rumble 1999, as well as the 2006 and 2018 Women's Royal Rumble matches. So go check all those out over on my YouTube channel if you haven't already. But yeah, I love the Royal Rumble, and definitely one of my favorite events. It's usually pretty unpredictable, except when it's not. It's usually unpredictable. It's a lot of fun, and it's usually pretty cool to see who is going to win, who's going to make surprise appearances and stuff. In terms of who I think is going to win this year, for the men, and I believe pretty much at this point it's been narrowed down to one of two choices, either Cody Rhodes or The Rock. Honestly, I hope it's Cody. I have a very bad feeling it might be The Rock, but I hope it's Cody. Like Cody winning the Rumble, and using it to propel him to winning at least one of the World Championships. I think would be a lot better of an investment in terms of story. I guess the plan is for Cody to challenge for one title, The Rock to challenge for the other title. Honestly, The Rock, you don't need to have him win the Rumble to go for a title shot. It's The Rock. He could probably just ask for it, like John Cena or like Goldberg. or like Brock Lesnar. Like it's The Rock. I'm pretty sure, or he doesn't have to. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have to wait in line or get an opportunity like that. Unfortunately, it is unfortunate, but that's how it is with The Rock. But it'll be interesting because the last time The Rock was like in a ring, like in a wrestling capacity, was in technically in 2016 because he had that like squash match against Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32. Who? Oh, you don't remember it happening? I don't blame you. but but in terms of like a major wrestling capacity, the last time was in 2013, culminating in the twice in a lifetime match. And honestly, both the matches he had at WrestleMania's 28 and 29 against John Cena and all that stuff when he won the WWE Championship from CM Punk along the way, which honestly really wasn't the best move, and I wish they didn't go with that, but they did, and here we are. But yeah, that was like the last time The Rock was in a major wrestling capacity. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually have him feud with Roman here, and I feel like The Rock and Roman Reigns, they don't really need to add like a whole bunch of. They don't really need to add too much to the story because the story, and a potential rivalry between The Rock and Roman Reigns, potential feud. I feel like in this case it writes itself because they're cousins, they're family, they're blood, and Roman Reigns has pretty much been using his family, he as well as Sami Zayn, the honorary Uce, and Paul Heyman, the wise man to an extent. Pretty much using them as pawns, and The Rock can call that out. I'll bring up this parallels between like what Roman's doing and what The Rock did in his prime during his career in the WWE. The story pretty much writes itself. You don't really need to add too much glitz and glamour to it. You can pretty much just let it unfold the way it naturally could. But yeah, so as for the women's Royal Rumble, I'm not sure. I think that this is what quite a few people were saying, and I agree. I kind of want to see Rhea Ripley win this year. With her as part of like the Judgment Day and everything, which thankfully they've built up the Judgment Day really well, especially with Triple H in charge of creative. They've really built up Judgment Day, and with that, I hope that it leads to Rhea Ripley winning the Rumble match and getting a title opportunity from Bianca Belair, which it's crazy to think. Bianca Belair has held the Raw Women's Championship for almost a year now. That is insane to think about. The next thing I want to talk about is the upcoming Hellboy video game. But before I do that, who do you guys want to see win the Royal Rumble matches this year, if you're into that sort of thing? But I want to talk about the upcoming Hellboy video game. So I'll admit I haven't seen too much from it, but what I have seen is pretty cool. It was announced at the Game Awards last year, and we saw little tidbits of it, kind of just a little bit of demo gameplay and how it might look and everything. And not gonna lie, it looks pretty interesting. Like, it's got the cell shading effect like that we've seen in other stuff like the Sly Cooper games and stuff, which kind of gives it that cartoony comic book aspect. Another example of this would be the Ultimate Spider-Man video game. So, giving it like a comic book look to it, I think, is a really smart move. Hellboy looked pretty cool in the little bit that was seen, and it'd be pretty cool. Now I'll admit I don't know I don't know like too much about Hellboy, but the stuff that I have like heard and seen from him, it does seem pretty cool and interesting, and I want to see how it unfolds in video game form. And one of my major exposures to Hellboy is him being a guest character in the Injustice 2 video game. And from what people were saying, that version of Hellboy was done really well. So hopefully the game goes based off of that. But that being said, there's plenty of other characters I want to see a video game from. I want to see a Spawn video game. I want to see how that would play out. But yeah, so this upcoming Hellboy game, it looks interesting. It looks exciting. It looks like it might be a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X exclusive. It might be next gen exclusive, but I'm not sure. But the next thing I want to talk about is fan casting Call of Duty Modern Warfare movies. So this is kind of just something that I've thought about. I talked with like my dad and like one of my friends and stuff. I'm surprised they haven't made a Call of Duty movie yet, but if they did, who would play what role? And I feel like fan castings, at least for me, are pretty interesting because it allows people to use their creativity and to see people that they like and look up to and admire. Um, Essentially, put them in roles in terms of like a movie and everything. And so, who would I fan cast? I've been going kind of back and forth with it. And honestly, it's not even full yet. And it's not like an official thing where I'm gonna like send this off to Activision or something. Like, here's who we want in a Call of Duty movie. It's kind of just something kind of fun, on kind of just fun for me to do. I'd have Russell Crowe as Captain Price. I think he is a bit on the older side, but so is Captain Price, and I feel like he'd do pretty well as him. And I'm going based off like the rebooted Call of Duty Modern Warfare timeline, so I'd have him as Captain Price. Um, I'm not sure for like Soap or Ghost, who I'd have for those. For Sergeant Garrick, aka Gaz, I'd probably go. Oh, maybe John Boyega. I think he'd do pretty good in that role. Um, Unfortunately, if William Hurt hadn't passed away, William Hurt was General Ross in the MCU. If he hadn't passed away, he would have been a perfect General Shepard for the game. But yeah, that's just a little bit of fan casting. It kind of just it's a little bit nonsense, and it's just for fun for me. So if you have fan casting, let me know in the comments. And maybe we'll do some fan castings here on the channel. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But the last thing I want to talk about is family. And I feel like I was inspired to talk about this topic because I came up with these topics around like the holiday season, around like Christmas time, and so Christmas is definitely I feel like Christmas is definitely very family oriented in a lot of ways. But what do I define as family? For me, family, and actually I'm gonna look up the dictionary, the definition, as I often do with these topics. Um, Family. This is we're gonna read the Britannica definition, and that is a group of persons united by the ties of marriage, blood, or adoption, constituting a single household and interacting with each other in their respective social positions, usually those of spouses, parents, children, and siblings. The family group should be distinguished from a household, which may include boarders and rooms sharing a common residence. And it should also be differentiated from a kindred, which also concerns bloodlines, because a kindred may be divided into several households. So I'm sure by kindred they mean like loved ones, like friends, or um, like boyfriend, girlfriend, stuff like that. But me personally, I define family as people who you share like a bond with. Not all family is blood, and not all blood is family, because there are people who I'm related to by blood that I'm not really as close as, and it's not really a bad thing. It's just not really that close. Versus like people who I aren't related to by blood that that like I'm super duper close to, that I pretty much consider like my family. And I feel like family comes in all different shapes and sizes, not just like who you're related to by blood, although oftentimes that is important, but oftentimes the people who you meet along the way. Like my best friend, he's definitely like my brother, or, or I definitely treat him like a brother. Like we come to each other about problems, we talk like on the regular and stuff like that. So yeah, so we're pretty much like brothers. And it just goes to show that DNA, all that stuff, it is, like I said, it's important to an extent, but it doesn't often define family. Look at like the Fast and Furious movies. He's like family wasn't people that like were related. They were people that like gelled together, that came together for a cause and everything, because family is everything. I'm not qualified to make that joke because I've never actually seen a Fast and Furious movie. I know. Rain your booze upon me. I know. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this episode of System Shock Radio. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. And how do you guys define family? Let me know in the comments. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications. Excuse me, so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see it as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your reaction to anything I talked about in this video, and I will see you guys later. Peace.